Welcome to SVG-TV News for Tuesday, March 4, 2025. I am Rochelle Batiste. Legal documents have been filed to the Court of Appeal by attorneys representing the 271 dismissed workers in the vaccine mandate case. In a press release from the chambers of Jomo Thomas, it was stated that on March 3, 2025 at around 2:30 p.m., attorneys for the workers filed the legal documents seeking leave from the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court of Appeal to appeal the majority decision of the Court of Appeal to His Majesty's Privy Council. The press release noted that on March 13, 2023, Justice Esco Henry ruled that the government's mandate requiring public workers to take a COVID-19 vaccine, failing which they would be dismissed from their jobs and lose all benefits, including salary, pension, and gratuity, was unlawful, unconstitutional, ultra-virus, and disproportionate. However, in a majority ruling delivered by Justice of Appeal, the Honorable Eddie Ventros on February 12, 2025, the Court of Appeal allowed the government's appeal against Justice Henry's decision. The SVG Teachers Union, the Public Service Union, and the Police Welfare Association, representing the 271 dismissed workers, have green-lighted the decision to appeal to the Privy Council. And the unions in a joint news conference recently indicated that they would like to see the matter carried to the highest court in the land as they seek justice for the dismissed workers. Following the ruling, Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves made an appeal for the dismissed workers to reapply for their jobs. The unions and lawyers have also encouraged workers to reapply pending the outcome of the matter at the Privy Council. In an interview with SVG-TV News today, President of the Public Service Union, Elroy Boucher, stated that many workers have heeded the call and reapplied. However, they are still awaiting a response from the Public Service Commission.
Since the Prime Minister made the call for dismissed workers to return to work, a number of workers have written to and have visited the CPO to indicate their interest in returning. I've been advised that these workers, having gone to the CPO, were required to provide certain information. That information was provided. I've been further advised that there are a few workers who have been waiting for about 2 weeks now for a call from the Service Commission Department. In fact, all of the workers who have gone were told that they will receive a call from the Services Commission's department. Many have not received any such call.
Boucher remains hopeful that the workers will be rehired as the Prime Minister's promised on several occasions. The Prime Minister stated that vacancies have been filled and that new positions would need to be created.
When they contact the union, we have advised them to be patient, as it may be a case in which there is no vacancy, but that the government may have to create new positions. We are also aware that there have been persons who have already gone back on the job and are currently employed. So it's a matter of time. We're confident that the government will keep their word and re-employ all of the workers who have indicated that they wish to return.
In the news now, we hear that Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves stated that tensions between Guyana and Venezuela were diffused following a Venezuelan military vessel incursion in Guyanese waters on Saturday. Speaking on the matter for the first time since the incursion, the Prime Minister said that Barbados Prime Minister and Chairman of CARICOM, Mia Motley, along with himself, were integrally involved in ensuring peace was maintained through the use of the Argyle Declaration.
The matter was tense. The Argyle Declaration of December the 14th, 2023 kicked in immediately. There's a mechanism in the Argyle Declaration that there are 4 persons, or 4, well, one office holder and 4 persons, but one, the current chairman of CARICOM, plus the immediate past chairman of CARICOM, which Eric is named in the declaration. The immediate past president pro tempore of CELAC, Ralph Gonzalez, also named, and then Lula, President Lula of Brazil, or his representative. The four of us must be engaged in diffusing any tensions the whole of Saturday into the night, and even Sunday down to yesterday. Mia Motley, who is the chair of CARICOM, and myself have been engaged with the authorities in Venezuela, Guyana, at the highest level, for peace, for the conversation, for the invocation of the Argyle Declaration.
A number of countries, including the United States, have condemned Venezuela's actions. The Prime Minister emphasized the importance of maintaining peace between the two countries, which he said was achieved through diplomatic talks. He added that the President of Guyana remains in constant contact with him, and more will be said about the matter moving forward.
The point is this: if you have any conflagration, any mobilization of any armed forces, you can have a lot of loss of lives. Guyana, Venezuela. Of course. The U.S. gets involved. It extends to Caracas. The change, I mean, the whole thing. Yeah. And peace is so important. The same thing which we argued in relation to Ukraine, but we have been able to diffuse that tension, as we did earlier with Argyle in December 2023. And St. Vincent and the Grenadines played a leading, some would say the leading role in this particular matter. You may well hear other things today, tomorrow, until last night. I spoke to President Ali. I was at the hospital. While I was there, Ofan Ali called me. Okay. And I just see a message which Bingham showed me that
on Saturday, March 1st, a Venezuelan military vessel spotted near ExxonMobil's operation within the Stabroek block, where floating production, storage, and offloading platforms are stationed in Guyana's territory. In a statement, CARICOM denounced the incident as an act of aggression and provocation, asserting that it violates international law and the 2023 Argyle Declaration. Competition policy and law enforcement are crucial to the growth and stability of the economy of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. This is according to Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Foreign Trade and Consumer Affairs, Sandy Peters-Phillips, who addressed the opening ceremony on Monday of a two-day high-level workshop on competition policy and law enforcement hosted by the OECS Commission. The workshop aims to foster collaboration in addressing critical issues related to competition enforcement, share best practices, and explore strategies that the Commission hopes to implement for enforcing an effective competition policy. According to Peters-Phillips, fair competition is the foundation of thriving markets, ensuring that businesses operate on a level playing field so that consumers can benefit from fair prices and quality services.
In St. Vincent and the Grenadines, as a small economy, we must ensure that businesses, whether large corporations or small enterprises, compete fairly to drive economic growth and protect our consumers' interests. Furthermore, our well-regulated competitive environment encourages the following: 1, innovation and efficiency, ensuring businesses improve their products and services. 2, prevents market dominance that can lead to higher prices and few choices for the consumer. And 3, support small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, allowing them to grow without being unfairly pushed out by larger players. For example, if a large supermarket chain were to engage in predatory pricing, intentionally lowering prices below the cost to eliminate small local grocery store, this would harm our local businesses. Once competition is reduced, the same supermarket could increase prices without alternatives for consumers. This is why strong competition laws and enforcements are necessary. In St. Vincent and the Grenadines, enforcement of competition laws are very important. And as a member of the CARICOM, St. Vincent and the Grenadines aligns with the CARICOM competition policy, which is enforced by the CARICOM competition, which is the CCC. This regional body investigates and takes action against anti-competitive prices that affect multiple CARICOM states.
P.S. Peters Phillips further noted that at the national level, St. Vincent and the Grenadines is working to strengthen its legal and regulatory framework to effectively enforce competition laws.
These includes 1. Developing and updating national competition laws to align with regional and international best practices. 2. Enhancing institutional capacity by equipping regulatory bodies with the resources and the expertise to investigate and address unfair business practices. And 3, increasing public awareness so businesses and the consumers understand their rights under the competition laws. A recent example of the importance of enforcement was seen in the telecommunications sector. Consumers have long faced issues with limited service providers controlling market prices, leading to high costs and poor service quality. Through competition enforcement, the regional cooperation, we have seen improvements with new entrants creating better pricing and service options. Similarly, in the construction and import industries, we must ensure that large suppliers do not engage in exclusive contracts that blocks smaller businesses from accessing materials at fair prices. Such practices restrict competition, limit market access, and ultimately harms economic growth. It must be said, enforcing competition laws in a small economy like St. Vincent and the Grenadines comes with its challenges. These challenges include limited resources, small market size, and regulatory capacity constraints, just to name a few, and can make it difficult to fully monitor and regulate unfair practices. However, through regional collaboration with CARICOM, technical assistance, and partnerships with international organizations, we are making strides in strengthening enforcement mechanisms.
In moving forward, the PS recommends that member states work together to strengthen legislation to close loopholes that allow anti-competitive behavior, empower regulators with the tools and expertise necessary to enforce laws effectively, encourage business compliance through education and engagement, and work closely with the CARICOM Competition Commission to address cross-border competition issues. Invest SVG is launching its first investment outreach program aimed at engage in Vincentians living abroad. The primary goal of the outreach program is to educate Vincentians overseas about opportunities to return home and start a business. During an interview on NBC Radio Today, Communications Officer at Invest SVG, Alejandro Tesorio, explained that the main objective of the initiative is to meet Vincentian nationals where they are and demonstrate how they can successfully do business back home.
But Home is Where the Heart is basically, it's an investment outreach program that we are targeting the diaspora with. So Vincentians living abroad, specifically in the UK, Canada, and the USA, we're going to be hosting different outreach sessions where we actually meet them where they are and speak to them about how they can do business back home in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And the name is perfect because we know that a lot of people living abroad wish they could be back home. They haven't been home in a long time. And naturally, home is where the heart is. So that's why we went with that tagline. And that's essentially the main idea. We're meeting them where they are and showing them how they can do business back home in SVG, whether it be through our main sponsor, the Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, how they can open a bank account. We have other partners such as the Customs and Excise Department growing. We're partnering with CED as well, the Center for Enterprise Development, and so many other stakeholders.
Tosorero added that the outreach program is expected to run for 1 month, starting in April and ending in May, and they are hopeful it will be a great success.
Yeah, specifically the dates are from the 5th of April, which is our first session that's being held in the UK, the United Kingdom. We're having it in Brentford Lock. And then our final session is all the way on the 17th of May, which is in New York City, tentatively set for Brooklyn. We're still working out some logistics. However, you can expect us to be on the ground between those periods of time. We have our first session, as mentioned, in the UK. Then we have another one in Toronto, which is on the 10th of May. Then from Toronto, we go to Washington, D.C. on the 14th of May, and we conclude on the 17th in New York City. So it spans about, in total, it's a few weeks, but let's say from April to May is when we'll be having this program. And as Shanna said, we expect it to be a great success. Since we launched it, we've had persons reaching out from all over the place saying, oh my gosh, why can't you come to Miami? Why can't you come to California? Why can't you come to this place? So what we say to you now is, once we are able to get this one off the ground and, once we're able to see the success that we are expecting, and I know we will definitely be coming to other areas pretty soon once we have the next program next year.
Investment Facilitation Services Manager at Invest SVG, Shannon Brown Jacobs, said that the expansion of the program for 2026 will be considered depending on the success of this year's initiative.
Pilot. This is the first time. We've had, and Alejandro would definitely jump in here on that. When we started and put out our save the dates, we got so much, response from different areas in the diaspora, Florida, Atlanta. When are you coming here? But this is our first, it's our pilot. And I think once things go well, once it is accepted and proves to be helpful to persons in the diaspora, I think we'll definitely be looking at expanding and doing another one next year. Other states, other territories. And with the coming on of our digital transformation project, it's definitely going to get easier for persons to do business, and us bringing that information to them.
We hear that Prime Minister Dr. Raul Gonzalez has announced that the late Alan Cruikshank, former Member of Parliament for South Central Windward, will be afforded an official funeral, reflecting on the life of Cruikshank, who served as a Member of Parliament for South Central Windward from 1984 to 2001 under the New Democratic Party administration. Prime Minister Gonzalez described him as a good man.
I've indicated to his family that he'd be accorded an official funeral, and I've spoken to the Cabinet Secretary about it. And yesterday I informed the Cabinet also about that. And I've asked the Cabinet Secretary to get in touch with the family, and also the family to get in touch with the Cabinet Secretary. On my own personal behalf and that of my family, and the extended family of Labour, I want to extend condolences to the family of the widow and immediate family of Alan Cruikshank. He was a good husband and father, a good human being,
The Prime Minister shared that he visited Cruikshank at the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital the day before he passed away. He spoke glowingly of Cruikshank, whom he respected as a politician, and also praised him as a great teacher and farmer.
Farmer too. Even while he was a teacher, I didn't think he had much time doing it when he was a parliamentarian and minister. And he had several different portfolios. He used to actually do, even after he left office and working as a farmer. And before 20 years, a teacher will put on the spray can and spray bananas and so forth. Sometimes I wonder, with a number of cancers which we are seeing among former farmers who use perhaps not good enough protective equipment, personal protective equipment, the PPEs, and you don't know some of these things with Sabotoban is pesticides and so on and so forth, the damage that they've caused silently to a lot of people. This is something which there's been examination about in many countries, for instance, in the French West Indies. The incidence of cancer in Martinique is higher than in Guadeloupe, because you had more banana production in Martinique and so on.
No date has been set for his funeral. Member of Parliament for East Kingstown, Dwight Fitzgerald Bramble, has outlined a number of plans for East Kingstown, including the community of Walvoro. These plans include the development of sports facilities in National Water Park and improvements to infrastructure and roads. Speaking at a village meeting in the community last evening, the NDP representative for East Kingstown shared that for too long, the community of Walvoro has been in decline, and one way to address this is through local government initiatives.
One of the things that we are going to do, and we have planned for Walvoro and East Kingstown, is to bring back that community spirit. And the way we are going to do that is by bringing back local government, effective local government, where you will have your community council. You will choose your people from among your community to conduct the affairs of your community. So you won't have to run come to town to go to Prime Minister Friday, or to go to Minister Cummins, or to Minister Velox, or to Minister Huggins. You will have the opportunity, the resources, and you will be empowered to conduct your own business right here in this community.
Bramble, who is running for a second term in the next general elections, expressed his hope to empower young people through the development projects, including the proposed water park in Sandhill, which he believes will boost tourism and create employment opportunities for residents.
As a matter of fact, I am currently in discussions with two young engineers. They're from East Kingstown, but they live overseas, and they are about to put together something, an impression of what it would look like. So we're talking about, for example, putting a boardwalk from the bottom of the tarmac, come right along the coastline to Sandhill Beach. We're talking about putting down guest houses, or at least a guest house. Craft, no, we can talk. The people need to know. They can't see if we plan because they're getting voted out in a couple of months. So they can't see if we plan. No matter what they try to do, they can't see if it. So the point is that Sandhill Beach development project is going to directly benefit the people of Walvoro because they're right there. Young people will get opportunities for work. We will be bringing in income in tourism and all of that.
Leader of the NDP, Dr. Godwin Friday, along with other NDP candidates, were present at the East Kingstown village meeting last evening. And Member of Parliament for South Central Windward and Minister of Agriculture, Forestry, Fisheries, Rural Transformation, Industry and Labour, Subodha Caesar, provided an update on road works being carried out under the Diamond Freedom Road project in his constituency during a radio broadcast last evening. Minister Caesar explained that the project is part of a larger initiative announcing that a retaining wall will be constructed at Lewis Corner to ensure the sustainability of the road.
Was called a few minutes before the program, and I was advised that this morning the area known as Lewis Corner, and we witnessed over the years the erosion of the bank side at Lewis Corner that's going into Diamond Village, that the contractor started to make arrangements for the laying of the base for a retaining wall. So you know the community very well, driving from Diamond Gap up into the village. So when you get to Lewis Corner on the left-hand side of the road, there is an embankment there. And we are going to not only resurface the road, but throughout the entire Freedom Road there will be different pieces of infrastructure to.
Minister Caesar also addressed the progress of retaining walls being built at the Diamond Playing Field, noting that there have been some delays due to the river flow.
The retaining wall being built at the Diamond Village soccer field, at the playing field there, and that project is progressing. Because of the heavy flow of the river, sometimes it eroded certain parts of the playing field, and the contractor started with placing some river protection so that we can be able to utilize the full size of the playing field.
CISA further noted that additional road repairs will be carried out in the area.
We also started the foundation work, some clearing at the river where we are going to have a two-way at Dadigos Bridge. That's a bridge in the village where only one vehicle can pass at a time. So we are going to widen that bridge. So when we speak about this project, the Diamond Village, Montgrenan Road Freedom Project, there are many different parts to it. I had a conversation with the contractor on the Diamond side, and I indicated to him, yes, I know that we are going to do the retaining walls. I know that we are doing the structure at the playing field. But while we are doing that, we have to take care of some of the potholes on the main road. I know that you're going to, a contractor is going to come to resurface the road, but we can do something in the interim, and he promised that this week, so we can see some easing on the shocks